Live, only on DAZN. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. One is defending a name, the other is building one. The ring doesn't care where you come from, only if you can survive in it. Saturday, June 28th, Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Oscar Bevis for the Stomping Ground, powered by Wow Hydrate and available on DAZN. What a delight.
What's up, brother?
To see
What's
Big
up?
Baby out in Riyadh. What's happening, my friend?
Chilling, brother, chilling.
Let's get out of the way. It was all going off in hip switch. Then we get the bad news that you will not be fighting Fabio Wardley.
Yeah.
We read articles, we hear things.
Yeah.
Just from your mouth, so the UK fans know, how come it wasn't to be that night?
There's some, I had some medical issues I had to deal with, and I had to just, fall back and take care of myself. I already know that in UK I'm not getting any favors, so I don't want to have any excuses if it goes to the judges or anything like that. So, I'm a priority first, and I hope that every boxer understand that sometimes you can't sell your soul for $1, and you got to look at the bigger picture. That's what it is.
I mean, you're a fighting man, so was there a temptation to, I'm still going to come over and still going to bring it?
Correct, 100%. I did it with the Dubois fight. I've took a fight on 30 days notice, really, and had only 27 days to prepared. And if I was in better shape, I would have stopped Dubois, and look where Dubois is at now. So, I told myself that I'm going to give myself the best chance possible in every future fight, and Wardley, I know was going to be game, was going to be ready, but I know I was going to smash him. But it's always that if I'm not 100%, and I didn't want to go into a fight like that, and it is what it is. On to the next.
What did you make of his win over Justice Huni?
He's getting his ass whooped for 9.5 rounds, and he caught Huni with a good shot. But of course, hometowns don't even give Huni a proper, standing 8 or standing 10 count to really, get himself in order. And that's UK is known for that though. UK is known for stopping fights early when foreigners are fighting over there. So I'm not shocked. I'm not surprised. That's just how UK cooking does.
Was that your first reaction when you saw it? You
100%.
saw Huni rise and you thought that...
I was like, the minute he gets dropped, the referee's going to stop it. Maybe Huni should have boxed a little more and not get too timid, fall into the trap a little bit. But like I said, I think when you watch Tyson Fury get dropped and gets up, or AJ, a matter of fact, if you go watch the AJ Dubois fight, I've never seen any fighter in the history get as many chances as AJ got in the Dubois fight. Like, Dubois borderline killed AJ to get that win because the referee was trying to give AJ every chance to get back on his feet and get his wits about it. And I'm glad Dubois knocked him the fuck out. You know what I mean? Because so many chances, bro. So many chances.
I guess things still don't sit right between you and AJ. Is that a fair assessment?
AJ can look at my hairy black nuts. He's a fucking pussy. He's always going to be a pussy. I don't, you know what I mean? You be asking people about me. AJ, I'm telling you again, you're a fucking pussy. And always will be a pussy. And in the eyes of 90% of America, you're going to stay a pussy. Got your ass whooped, never came back, and now you want to fight Jarrell Anderson? You are the biggest pussy in boxing, straight up.
What do you think happens between him and Jarrell Anderson?
I think AJ can still pull off the win, only because he's more battle-tested than AJ. I think he's a little more mentally tougher than Anderson. AJ, I believe, hits harder, way harder than Anderson. Knows how to grab a little bit of the inside. It's experience-wise, and the build-up might be okay, but I mean, it's just a nonsense sell of a fight, to tell the truth. They want to get AJ easy win with a decent name, and Anderson is that guy. And if Anderson has any kind of common sense, he will put his business hat on for a little bit and not let the money blind him. You're young. Take your time, go back to the drawing board, get 4 or 5 fights, get the experience in the gym, get with some aggressive guys. Even if I don't like his young ass, I would still try to help him out and show him certain things because this game is dirty. It's super dirty. You know what I'm trying to say? But he's American. We were cool in the beginning. Certain things like that can be meshed if he were willing to listen. But if he's not, he's doing himself a short. Anderson is doing himself, a discredit if he takes that fight with AJ right now, straight up.
Do you think he would be willing to listen to you?
You never know, bro. You never know. You know what I mean? But that's for him to be not so big-headed or not. You know what I'm trying to say? But I don't think the AJ fight is a fight that he needs right now at all. The big fights will come back eventually, but he needs to be a warrior and a killer and a gladiator first. He has to get there first, mentally, physically, emotionally, and then he'll be able to fight anybody. But right now, it ain't the time for that.
Just talk about that man over there, Mr. Carl Froch, the Cobra. He's been very vocal in saying that AJ's finished. He's scared to get hit. He should hang it up, retire. Is that something you can understand?
Well, first of all, I'm going to play this. Carl Froch is a fucking hater. You know what I mean? I never said nothing to the guy before, but, you know, anybody that watches boxing, Carl Froch is a fucking... I don't really care for Carl Froch. He can suck my dick, too. He can say whatever he want.
Have you spoke to him today?
Nah, never. You know what I mean? But I tell him to his face. I don't give a shit. Carl Froch is a fucking hater. You know, anytime somebody talks about AJ, I sold the Wembley out 76,000. He's a cornball. For me, he's a cornball in my book. Carl Froch is corny. But is AJ washed up? Yeah, I don't think he has too many good days ahead of him. You know what I mean? Maybe two more decent fights. You know what I mean? But I mean, you can't tell a fighter when he's really cooked or not. You know what I mean? The fighter got to, you know, say this is it for me. You know what I mean? Or people around him can say that. But
whether you like AJ or not, you are saying it's his decision.
Yeah, it's got to be it's got to be his decision. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand something. His best days are behind him. Yes, I believe so. Does he still have a couple more in the tank? I think he still does. You know what I mean? But if he wants an easy win or a tune-up, then he should just go and do that. You know what I mean? But I think Anderson is like too much of a tune-up in some ways. You know what I mean? Like everybody's seen the kind of what I'm looking for. They've seen a vulnerability in Jared Anderson, so that's gonna be a harder sell. You know, people told me it's gonna be a real competitive fight. I think they're a bunch of dickheads that's saying that. I don't think it's gonna be a very competitive fight. You know, because they're both mental, but one's super mental, and he's younger. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's where I stand with that.
Talking to Jared Anderson, obviously his sole defeat was to Martin Bakoli. What did you make of Martin Bakoli's performance against F.A. Jagba? I know he come under quite a lot of criticism for kind of the way he entered the ring, he entered the fight.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought Bakoli would have been in better shape for that fight. I thought Bakoli would have been the more dominant person in that fight. But that's boxing, though. You know, Ajafa, you know, he came, he showed up, he put on a good show. Now I believe he's ahead of Bakoli in WBC rankings from what I've seen. So that's boxing, though. You know, my hat off to both men. They both came, they banged, and you know, on to the next. But it's definitely a little shocking that, you know, Bakoli didn't seem himself 100% in that fight.
Do you know what I could sit here and mention any heavyweight name. You sit in front of me now, I mention any heavyweight name and put your name in, and I look at that fight and go, fuck me, that's one I want to see.
Yeah.
What's your hit list, though?
Oh, definitely AJ.
Give me three. Give me three that sit there that make you hit the bag harder, hit the track harder.
Oh, yeah. AJ, Dubois, Usyk. You know what I mean? 100%.
Are you going to be there on July the 19th?
I'm thinking about it. You know, I got invited.
Pull up, man. London.
I'm thinking about it. I got a few things. I've been training in Thailand for like 2.5 months, man. I need to go see my sons. But we'll see. You'll see. I'm not counting it out. You know, we'll figure it out. Talk to my team and see if I get out there or not. But yeah, I think that's really my hit list. I really want the AJ, Dubois, and Usyk fight. If Tyson's still around, I'd love to fight my boy Tyson too. I think it'll be a barn burner. Yeah, but that's really it though. You know, as of right now.
Yeah. What do you think happens in Usyk Dubois? Do you give Daniel a chance in the fight?
100%. I give Dubois a chance. I think after me and his fight, he definitely graduated. If you watch, you know, how he's been training, how he's looking lately. It all depends. You know, it's still 50-50 in my book, but I'm rooting for Dubois. You know, because I would love to get my rematch with him, but at the same time, if he beats Usyk, I don't know if Usyk's gonna. I think Usyk might retire after that. You know what I mean? You know, it depends though. But I'm getting 50-50. You know, I'm gonna say best man winning that one, but I'm pulling for Dubois a little bit more. You know.
I want you to come to London. I want you to come to London because I know that things will get a bit spicy.
Yeah, 100%.
There'll be a few names.
Yeah, 100%.
So the heavyweights are going to be turning up. They're going to be ringside. I know things could get a bit tasty.
Yeah. I mean, listen, you understand something, man. You know, I'm the last American that really brings shit. You know what I mean? But there's a lot of things I'm working on business-wise that we're trying to get the details cooked out. You know, I'm starting my new promotional company. And there's a lot of great things going to come right now. I just got to work the kinks out over the next couple weeks. You know, I have no promoter. I have absolutely no promoter. And I have an advisory agreement with Spencer Brown. You know, Spencer's my advisor. And that's where I'm at right now. You know, I'm open to all ideas. I'm open to all discussions. You know, so it all depends. You know, but at the same time, as I'm American, I love to fight at home and give the fans a great show.
You mentioned you've got no promoter and you're starting up your own promotional company.
100%, correct.
Is that important to you because of things that you've been through in the past? And, you know, they're not for me to bring up. You can if you want. But because of what's happened in the past, is it important that if you start your own thing, you do things the way that you like and,
100%,
and how you want?
You know, like I said, I had my promotion company before, but because of, you know, American law is so nitty gritty, you know, and I could be honest, like, you know, I was in the lawsuit with Salida Promotions, and we're still going through some legal stuff. You know, he's a cunt. You know, Demetrius Salida is a real piece of shit, and you know, and it's not just me. You know, a lot of other fighters that have gone on the record and says that, you know, he's a piece of shit. And, you know, it is what it is. But everything that's in dark will come to light at some point. You know, you can't rob fighters of their time, their money, and of course their brain cells, and expect nothing in repercussion. You know what I'm trying to say? Something's going to come back to hit you 10 times harder. You know, so with that being said, I just wish, you know, every fighter just does their business, do their diligence to do the right thing and figure out, do their homework. Because unfortunately, a lot of people say they're managers and they're advisors, but they don't know shit. You know, a lot of people say they're promoters, and yeah, it's not really their promoting per se. It's a piece of paperwork saying I'm the guy's promoter to keep them and blackballing them and being the middleman for them to get bigger opportunities. So, you know, just do your homework, guys.
You spoke about talking to Jarrell Anderson. I'm sure there's a lot of fighters you could tell that to, kind of using your own experience. Jarrell, I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much, champ. Have you got some final words to send to the UK fans who will be watching this back home? Hopefully see you soon.
I love UK, man. You guys are some of the best fans on the planet. But like I said before, man, some of you, the UK officials, do a lot of home cooking and a lot of juking. So stay aware. Don't be scared. Big Baby's going to come. Have no fear.
Live, only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.